Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of the Adiation Central weekly show.
I'm Andrew, and along with my co-host David, we are really excited that you're joining us today.
We've got some big updates within the aviation community, in particular with the remote piloting drone side and the general aviation side of that. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it.
So first up, we have the FAA has now approved the first aerial delivery drone design. It's the M2 quadcopter, and it's still part of Part 107. It can carry up to 4 pounds of cargo. The FAA said that it's an important milestone, and in the FAA's support for the development of innovative drone technology. And it also has a top speed of 45 miles per hour.
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting update within the drone community. This process here with the delivery drones within the United States, at least, the FAA started taking in some of the different type ratings and started the consideration process. There are about 10 different companies that got involved, like Matternet here with the M2. Amazon was also getting on top of it, UPS, a couple other ones, some medical industry type people as well. But this is the first type rating that's been approved now for Part 107 for any sort of the cargo side.
So that'll definitely increase the demand on drone pilots by a lot.
Yeah, we'll definitely need to see an uptick in the drone pilots that we already have right now. Obviously, a lot of different uses for drone pilots these days between photogrammetry and inspection work, real estate, all that. I mean, there's so many different areas within that industry. The thermal mapping and all that kind of stuff. So this is just going to be an expansion upon that.
Yeah, and can you run us through the process of getting your Part 107 real quick?
Yeah, so when you're getting your Part 107, it's relatively easy to get the 107 itself. There's just the course that you'll take online, like a prep course, and then you'll go in and take the actual Part 107 written exam itself. It's a little bit easier if you're a private pilot already. There's just an online course you take there, confirm that you have your flight review day is what you say it is, with like a CFI, and then you're good to go on that end. So getting into Part 107 work, it's not that difficult. The main thing is finding which drones are going to be best. So in this case, you have the expansion here of the M2. And so being able to get comfortable with that kind of stuff, getting some of the experience. So definitely a lot of opportunities coming up within the Part 107 community. That's for sure.
Yeah, having drones deliver like packages, that would be pretty cool because it can carry up to 4 pounds of cargo. I'd say the average package is about like 2 to 3 pounds per se.
I mean, yeah, if you just have like light packages, or if you think about like medical equipment as well, like if you can get this type of drone, if you can get it further out there, and I'm interested to see with the line of sight rules that Part 107 have. So you want to make sure that you have some sort of designated person there who's able to watch and make sure that nothing's going on with the drone. You can still visually see it. I'm interested to see where that goes with that. But I'm interested to see with the medical supplies. You get this into hard to reach areas. So I'm really interested to see what happens with that. So there's so many different opportunities with the drones. I mean, imagine DoorDash starts using this.
Yeah, just walk outside and see a drone delivering packages.
Yeah, or someone gets in like McDonald's or something. They just
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see.
They'll definitely have to hire some like spotters to like keep watch of the drone, so like the pilot can focus on where they're flying to.
Right, and another thing to consider with the limitations are obviously going to be limitations with these types of drones. One of them as well here is about 400 feet. I think it's 400 or 500 feet is their max ceiling of whether they're allowed to fly. So I'm intrigued to see that, which is still normal, but it'll be interesting to see whether or not they use this in like cities or if they're just going to use this in tougher to reach areas like the country. I know Amazon's also trying to get on top of this as well, so you could potentially see some of those really fast deliveries starting to happen, offload the work that the drivers have to do, as well as the fact that it's clean energy.
Yeah, And then back to what you were saying about medical, like they can just drop off some medical supplies, like if you need it. That's pretty cool.
Right. I mean, and I think I remember reading back this before. I don't remember too much about this, so I might be wrong. But I think other countries are also using this to be able to get some of the PPE or maybe some of the vaccines and stuff like that to areas that maybe were already uh, more or less infected with COVID. So you can also use that as good form of social distancing. But luckily, it seems like those days are getting behind us more and more. So
Yeah, you can definitely reach a lot more places via drone instead of like trucks or cars.
right, and it's a lot faster as well as the fact that we can go ahead and get this. You know, like I was saying earlier, a lot more of the clean energy policies that are starting to go into effect now. So this is hopefully going to be able to make our cities and our areas just overall a little bit cleaner, more efficient use as well. You don't have to worry about like red lights and stuff.
Yeah, definitely get whatever you ordered a lot faster now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. We'll go ahead and keep up to date with any. We'll go and keep you guys up to date on anything happening within that world. A lot of big updates. But speaking of clean energy, we have even more and really, really interesting news coming out from the FAA this past week. So, FAA has now approved the use of 100% unleaded fuel now within 100 octane fuel. So 100 octane low lead is the standard right now for general aviation aircraft, which there are about 220,000 of them or so that are out right now within the United States. This is going to be a big shift. So the unleaded side, uh, definitely a difference. So you went from like 80, 85. Octane, 100 octane low lead. Now we're going to go unleaded. The lead within the aircraft is actually used to prevent engine damage at higher power settings because of the internal combustion for the piston side of it, anyways. The FAA doesn't have the direct regulatory responsibility for aviation fuel, but it is providing the certification now for the type of fuel. So I'm really interested to see, especially within the next decade. I don't know how much of you guys of this you've heard, but with the EPA and the FAA, they developed a partnership back in February to try to transition piston engine aircraft as one of their agendas to lead-free aviation fuel by 2030.
Yeah,
So
I
big
think this could
updates.
be a big help because, like me personally, if I bought a plane, I wouldn't want my engine to get destroyed. So I think that could definitely help.
Right, and this is going to be an interesting one as well because the lead right now, it's actually there to help keep the engine more stable. The unleaded, I'm really interested to see some more of these details as they come out because of the fact that uh, there's a reason why lead was in the fuel before. But clearly, we've been able to get to a point, and the FAA, they're not the ones who make this, right? They're the approving authority for this. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to work out. Clearly, there have been tests on this, and there have been for a while, as well as the fact that there have been certain exemptions for experimental aircraft to use, like basically gas from the pump before. So this isn't particularly new. The widespread side is.
Yeah,
So yeah, definitely really interesting to see what's going to happen within this particular side. I'm interested to see how this is going to affect the avgas prices as well as what is being used right now for being able to get this out to all the different airports across the country. So this is definitely going to be a challenge, but this transition is happening, and for better or for worse. And I think this will probably be able to work out. But and then this goes back as well to the eliminate aviation gas lead emissions. So the Eagle program, like I was mentioning before. So that's kind of the program that this is under. So this is obviously a big step with the EPA, as well as with the you know the FAA as well as for how other bigger organizations are treating this as well, like AOPA. They seem to be pretty open to it so far, but we'll definitely have to see where this continues in the future.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of big updates coming up in the aviation community so far. Yeah, really, really excited about what's coming up. So thanks so much for joining us on the first episode of the Adiation Central Weekly Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Have a fantastic week.
Stay cool.